What's up, guys? So today's video is about astrology. I'm going to be looking at the polarity and the four elements. Now realistically, there's so much that sort of comes from the four elements between astrology and the supposed personality types that go into that or can be categorized by that, that realistically that in and of itself should have its own video. But there's so little to do with polarity and modality and stuff like that, that I'm going to sort of break it up in half and do sort of the more astrology based stuff in this video and the more personality stuff based in another video later, sort of next month. So without further ado, let's get into this. I've got the Wikipedia page open in front of me. It's literally just the, if you just search astrological sign or click the link in the description down below, you'll be able to go straight to the page that I've got open in front of me at the moment. So it reads, Empedocles, a 5th century BC Greek philosopher, identified fire, earth, water and air as elements. He explained the nature of the universe as an interaction of two opposing principles called love and strife, manipulating the four elements, and stated that these four elements were all equal of the same age and each ruled its own province, and each possesses its own individual character. Different mixtures of the elements produce different nature of things. He said that those who are born with near equal proportions of the four elements are more intelligent and have the most exact perceptions. Before I continue, it's kind of interesting here that he has that they're all equal of the same age and each rule their own province, because the four elements are also kind of referenced by a Titan slash primordial deity. The four, and then sort of like the Olympians' grandparents in a sense. So the most obvious one is Earth, being Gaia. You've then got Uranus, which was the sky, so air. There was Tartarus, who is like it's another name for like the deepest part of the underworld, so obviously that's fire. And then water is Thalassa, and yeah, I will sort of address a little bit more on that in a second as well, because it is kind of interesting that those four primordial deities do represent things, and it does continue in a second here. So it says here, each sign is associated with one of the classical elements, and these can also be grouped according to polarity. So fire and air are considered positive or extrovert masculine signs, while water and earth are considered negative or introvert feminine signs. The four astrological elements are also considered as a direct equivalent to Hippocrates' personality types, and that's what I'll get into in the other video, because that's a whole other story that goes so far as to come right into like the Meigs-Bryer tests and the Jungian personality types, like to actual like psychology personality types, giving, I think, a little bit more credence to maybe this has some level of believability to it. A modern approach looks at the elements as the energy substance of experience, and the next table that it has on the page obviously has to summarize their descriptions for key words. Now while we're here, I know that it's on this particular page, so I've clicked on the little link for negative sign, and it does say here, there is no value judgment attached to the terms negative or positive, the same introverted, extroverted, or masculine, feminine. They may be linked to polarities in an electrical charge, however, some charges are positive, some are negative. Neither is necessarily good or bad, they are just merely different. And then on this same page, while we're here, it has, in astrology there are two groups, positive and negative. These two groups also include 6 individual signs from the zodiac. The 12 signs are divided into 2 groups based on one's exact time and place of birth. The negative and positive signs alternate, starting with Aries as positive, and Aries is actually the first sign in the zodiac. So we'll be looking at individual signs once we get to the start of Aries. As positive, and Taurus is negative, and continuing this pattern throughout the list of zodiac signs. And obviously with the polarities changing each time, obviously the elements interchange each time, so the cycle goes fire, earth, air, water, and then continues another 2 times to complete the cycle of 12. In Chinese astrology, it's basically the same as like yin and yang. It's basically the only other thing that I can see here. So in astrology may refer to positive signs as masculine and negative signs as feminine. They may also be referred to as active and passive, introverted, extroverted, and again, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is a personality trait that you will have. And we will sort of look at that in a second as well. Cool. So we'll go back to the main page. So with that in mind, the positive and the positive signs are obviously, as I said, fire and air. Fire signs represented by an upward pointing triangle. In the thumbnail, it's the red one. Their keywords are enthusiasm, drive to express self, and faith. And their signs in order are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The air signs are communication, socialization, and conceptualization as their keywords, represented by the other upward triangle along the line through it. It's white, if I remember correctly, in the thumbnail. The negative signs are, so the signs for air, if I move on too quickly, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And all but one member of my family is in that category. The other one out being my sister, who's in the next category, which is Earth, represented by literally just the inverse of the air sign. It's a downward pointing triangle with a line through it. I believe I coloured it green in the thumbnail. And then obviously the downward pointing triangle that is blue with no line is water. But Earth's is practicality, caution, and the material world. There's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn in them, and then the water signs show more emotion, empathy, and sensitivity, and they are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Classification according to element has gained such importance that some astrologers start their interpretation of a natal chart by studying the balance of elements shown by the position of planets and the angles, particularly of the sun, the moon, and the ascendant planet, which obviously planetary rulerships are something that I'll cover in another video. And then as we sort of get a little bit deeper into it, the 12 houses are something that I'll look at as well. So there's a lot to unpack to really sort of understand a full natal chart reading of astrology. But while we're here, finishing off the 3 modalities, each of the 4 elements manifests in 3 modalities, either the cardinal sign, which is a little triangle shape with a dot in it, the fixed sign, which is a square with a line through it, and then the mutable sign, which is a little curved line with a dot underneath it. The cardinal signs, keywords for them are action, dynamic, initiative, and great force, and they cover the signs Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And if you sort of paying enough attention, you'll recognise that they are one of each element. Obviously the same with the other 2. The fixed signs are more resistant to change, have a greater willpower than the signs, but are more sort of inflexible in things. They're more sort of set in their ways, a little bit more stubborn. Look at it like that. They are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And then the mutable signs are adaptable, flexible, and more resourceful than other signs, and they are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. The combination of element and modality provides a basic sign characterization, and it actually has a example here. Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign, meaning it's associated with action, which is from its cardinal modality in the material world because of its earth element, and that can translate into ambition or practical application to sort of the more concrete everyday necessities of life. And then right at the end they've got a little table that shows you the 4 elements by the 3 modalities and where your sign fits, so you can sort of look at the modality and the element of your particular sign. So yeah, right. I might do another video a little later on where I actually explore the personality, because obviously we've got keywords there, but obviously there's more to fire than just enthusiasm and wanting to express yourself. There's more to water than just showing more empathy and emotional sensitivity. So I might do another video looking at that as well, and then I'll look at the one with the Jungian stuff, going into more sort of the psychology side of things, the 12 signs, 12 houses. It's going to be a long ride, so if you want to see any of those videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you are notified when I upload a new video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below your star sign, and let me know if those keywords you feel apply to you according to your element and your modality. And until next time, guys, keep your heads screwed on.